everybody. Hello. Happy Wednesday. Happy chatting with Doug Day. We're all so happy to be here. And since we're so excited and so beyond elated to start this, why don't I start with the rules so that we can all know how this works?
Right.
Your overexcitement right now, Doug, is just, it's killing me.
I'm just trying to give her the thumbnail because it always picks the weirdest picture of me. It's always like that. So, like, yeah, maybe this will help.
Maybe that'll help.
This the whole time. That won't be weird at all.
Right. The borderline creepy. Yes, 100%. Yeah.
No borderline about it. It's creepy.
Okay, great. Fantastic. Well, first and foremost here, we give priority to the bit messages and super chats since that is some real world money spent. Towards the end of stream, we might have time for some regular chat questions or highlighted questions from Twitch and YouTube. But please save those. Please save those for the end of stream, because if you do it now, I'm not going to be able to scroll back up and check it out. So save it towards the end of stream when it seems like we have caught up. Please don't repeat yourself over and over again in chat. You can get timed out or even banned if you're going to continuously do that. Please have some patience. We get behind on the bit messages and the super chats. You don't need to repeat them, especially on the YouTube side of things. You'll see your super chat unpin. But it is very, very rare that we actually miss a question. More likely, you just got to have some patience. We can get up to an hour behind. So just give us that little bit of patience and we will get to it. Please keep your messages short and to the point. The longer it is, the faster I have to read it, the more likely it is that we're going to miss the point and we do not have time to repeat it. The same thing applies with part messages. If you absolutely must break up your message into multiple parts, keep it to 3 max. Again, we don't have time to figure out what you're talking about in part 7 and how it related to part 5 and try to figure out what you're trying to say here. So 3 parts, absolute maximum. Also along those same lines, please keep it to 1 question per bit message or super chat. It doesn't feel fair when we have over 100 people here who would like to ask Doug a question and you get to ask 5 in 1. Okay, so please keep it to 1 question per bit message or super chat. No spoilers. I know there was some early reviews out there or early showings as well out there for Superman, and I swear to God, chat, you ruin this for me. I will find a way to wreak the most random vengeance upon you.
It is funny what people consider spoilers. I literally just said, like, there's a scene where Lois is flying a UFO and everyone's like, shut up. I'm like, that's a major, what do you learn about the person with that? Like, that was like too much. It's like, all right, there's aliens in this? What?
Yeah. I lost my place now. No.
I think we got it. No swearing to me.
No swearing to Doug. I think, yeah, maybe I did get it all.
Think we good.
Great. Amazing. Sure. Wonderful. Let's do this then. John, thank you for the $10 super chat. Really appreciate that. When and if you do a review for the new Fantastic Four film, please get the pronouncement of Galactus correctly. I think you mean pronunciation, if we're gonna play this game, of Galactus correctly. There's no I in his name. Same.
Yeah, what I call him, Galacticus, something like that.
Yeah, Galacticus, I think is what you normally say. It's Galactus. Same with Jumba or Jumba. I don't know. In Lilo and Stitch, it's Jumba, not Jumba. I often say Jumba. That's on me. Jumba.
Yeah. I know a lot of people in the Superman review are like, he keeps calling them super people. Why does he call them that? Because they have the same powers as Superman. I take my head out of a comic once in a while.
At Movies, thank you for the 500 bits. Rip to both Michael Madsen and Julian McMahon. Sorry. What are your top 3 favorite performances from both of them? I don't know if we can give 6 performances, but maybe at least the.
What was the other one? Julian
McMahon.
Julian McMahon. Which one is that? I don't think I know this guy. So, okay, he's in Fantastic Four. Nip Tuck, that was the big. Oh, he was the bad guy in Fantastic. Oh, I didn't know that was the same guy. Okay. Oh, that's so makes sense. I didn't see much in Nip Tuck, but I'm like, okay, I do know what that is. I haven't seen enough of his stuff. Michael Madsen though, Kill Bill was pretty great. I mean, all the Tarantino stuff, Kill Bill, Reservoir Dogs. Yeah, I'd have to look at a list of like his other stuff, but yeah, maybe I can look that up while we look at the next one here.
Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. Which Hollywood satire do you like more, The Player or Get Shorty? In my opinion, The Player is more clever, but I like the characters in Get Shorty a lot more.
Boy, that's a good way to put it. The Player, in terms of like the layout and everything and kind of playing around with how self-aware it is more clever, but you're right. I don't remember the people really much at all. I remember the premise and the satire. Where you're right, with Get Shorty, I do remember the premise enough to Get Shorty, but not like, a ton of details. But I do remember the people. So yeah, I think that's I think that's a good way to describe it. I agree. And look at God, he was in so much. Michael Madsen, I'll just say Hateful Eight again. Just make it all Tarantino stuff.
A lover of cinema, thank you for the 500 bits. Where does James Gunn's Superman movie rank among his other comic book movies, those being the Guardians of the Galaxy movies and the Suicide Squad?
I like Guardians 2 the most. Then probably the Suicide Squad. Somewhere in between like the first Guardians and like it's a tie between the first Guardians. No, I take it back. Super is actually probably still my favorite of his. That's still like a really funny but also kind of haunting, disturbing movie. So that's probably number one. Then Guardians 2, then the Suicide Squad. Then yeah, like a toss up between the first Guardians film and this for me personally.
Treg, thank you for the 500 bits. Hey, Doug and Heather, we finally got a teaser for the new series from the BoJack Horseman crew, Long Story Short. Are you excited, and what are you hoping to see in the new series?
I just saw a thumbnail of that. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll watch that later. I totally forgot about it. What's it called? Long Story Short? I'm just going to have it ready so I can look it up later. So no, I haven't seen it yet, but I just that it's good. I mean, those people have brought, all sorts of, yes, there's that style, kind of that BoJack style, but they've done stuff that's really different too. Like Undone is a phenomenal show, and that's technically animation. It's very much rotoscope and everything, but yeah, I thought what they did with it was so clever. So yeah, I don't know, I'm kind of down for whatever they got, because most of the stuff I've seen from them I greatly enjoy.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. I saw Jurassic World Rebirth, and I thought it was okay, not the best, but it could have been better.
Yeah, that's what Brad thought. He enjoyed it fine. So there's people that like it fine. They need medicine, but they're out there. No.
Matt, thank you for the $5 super chat. Will we be hearing more on Doug Walker at Connecticon?
Connecticon.
I always say it weird. I'm sorry.
About Doug? I mean,
you're going
there. Yeah, I'm going there. That's I guess if you show up at a panel or a booth or something, then yes, you will.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. And Jake Long, what do you think of the Dark Dragon?
Boy, why am I blanking on what that is? Hold on, like I'm watching it right now. Let me hold on. Dark
happens to the best of us. I didn't watch Jake Long, so I don't.
Oh, that's right. The lady. I liked her. I liked you couldn't really, if it's the one I'm thinking about, right? Yeah, I liked it. It was kind of hard to tell. Is she good? Is she bad? And kind of going back and forth. And but they still have some good comedy with her too. And the design as the dragon is really cool. So I thought she was cool.
Crunch Along, thank you for the $5 super chat. Thoughts on the trailer for Edgar Wright's The Running Man?
It looks good. It doesn't look like anything mind-blowing like his other stuff, but that's always what's kind of fun about it too. Like, with the exception of Last Night in Soho, which I never did see, but everyone says was kind of the lesser of his stuff. The trailers always look, good, fine, but then when you see the film, it's always like, whoa, what was that? So I'm excited for it, and there is a good amount of variety you can do with that idea too, about like the different kills and what the game show is like, and where they hide everything, and the twists upon twists and everything. So yeah, there's definitely fun ideas you can do with it. Yeah, and it was funny, of course.
Treg, thank you for the 500 bits. I was wondering, have you considered doing a review for the movie Storks? I just rewatched it recently, and while the story might be untidy, I think it's a hilarious and very underrated family comedy with a heart-tugging ending.
I love it. Yeah, let me write that down. Actually, probably enough time is, and not that time had to pass on that, but it was just one of those where it's like, what do I say? It's funny. But I can probably, I feel like I've opened up more about how to say, you know, how a joke works, pretty well in the review. So, yeah, I'll probably get to that at some point.
I know a guy, thank you for the 17-month, becoming a member, sorry, for 17 months over on YouTube. Really appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
I assume the last two movies you mentioned in the latest review, which was great, by the way, are the next ones. Which order will it be? Minecraft, then Snow White, or Snow White, then Minecraft?
I got another review before I get to one of those. And that's a Disney film, so it should probably be a hint.
Future movie actor, thank you for the $5 super chat. This is part 1 of 2. Hoping this is testing ground to see if you can actually get reviews of other WB Pokemon movies up after all. 2 of them I actually haven't. ... To be continued.
Wait and see.
The Disney Nerd, thank you for the $5 super chat. Good evening, Dougamon. When you were watching Clone Wars, at what point did you realize you were starting to care about Maul?
Honestly, the first time he came back, it just, as soon as they made him speak, I'm like, he talks? I forgot he did that. And now does he talk? I mean, he's written and talks like a Shakespearean character. And it's just like, holy smokes, like this guy is fascinating. And I don't think I was so on board with the idea of bringing him back because I'm like, oh, I like the mystery round, whatever. But then they just made him so cool. That I just got into him more and more in the world he came from and everything. Yeah, it just got cooler and cooler. So yeah, it was almost instant. And this is coming from a guy who did not have any interest in seeing him again. I was just like instantly on board as soon as he started talking.
Nate, thank you for the $10 super chat. Doug, I have a hypothetical choice for you. If you could only ever watch Garbage Pail Kids and nothing else for the rest of time, or live with Whitey from 8 Crazy Nights, what would you choose?
I'd probably watch Garbage Pail Kids. There's at least a break from the annoying voices every once in a while, or Whitey's just constant.
Noah, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, thoughts on The Chosen Season 5 and on the portrayal of Judas?
I haven't, we started it and we got maybe 25 minutes in on the first episode, but then it's one of those months where just a million other things have come out. And we're like, oh, we got to watch that. Oh, we got to watch this. Oh, we got to catch up on that. And we just haven't gotten around to it. So we will. And it's so funny because my wife was so excited. Oh, is it out yet? Is it out yet? And then as soon as it came out, like all these other things are out now. And we're just, we'll get to it later. But, we will. We do want to finish it up. But yeah, it's just haven't had a chance yet.
John, thank you for the $5 super chat. Yeah, watching Cloverfield for the first time reminded me how much I hate found footage type films.
That's not the worst offender, in my opinion. It would be interesting to go back and watch it again, because I remember being all right, nothing anything that special. But yeah, I wonder what I would think of it now. I wonder if I'd still get into it. I don't know. It might be another worth a no re-review.
Case, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hey, Doug, what film has your favorite cinematography? Mine is the original The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Daniel Pearl makes each shot feel cinematically gritty, but beautiful and intriguing.
Okay, it's an interesting choice. Let me see. Man, I'm trying to think. Lord of the Rings films, maybe. I know this isn't a movie, but the show Severance has some of like the most amazing cinematography I've ever seen. There's just like, I just feel like we could analyze like every shot. A lot of Kubrick stuff like Eyes Wide Shut and Clockwork Orange, 2001, all those. Barry Lyndon looks phenomenal. So yeah, definitely a lot of the Kubrick stuff.
Jace, thank you for the $10 super chat. Finally saw Wild Robot. I was in tears when Bright Bill beaked Roz after hatching. The music, colors, warmth, like up if the film ended right there like a short film, I would have been happy and see it again.
Yeah, I really liked it. I thought it was really, really good. Yeah, I like showing it to people too who haven't seen it yet, and they're always surprised how into it they get.
Jack, thank you for the €5 super chat. Hi, Doug. Which do you
Hi.
prefer, Pokemon or Digimon? I'm more of a Digi-guy myself due to how mature the story gets sometimes and have more personality.
I've seen very little of either. I've seen even less of Digimon. I'll say Digimon has the better theme song. Like as soon as what was it? Not Kids WB. Fox Kids. After we did that, I just went and like just got a copy of that song. I just listened to it over and over on my car. I'm just like, oh my god, why do I love this song so much?
Here's my thing with the Pokemon versus Digimon, okay? I can recognize and I understand Digimon is the better anime. It is. I know that. I think objectively, there's no arguing that Digimon is the better anime. But I am so just emotionally invested in Pokemon. I prefer Pokemon. But you're correct. Digimon is the better anime. Okay? I'm not going to fight with you about that.
That's like the new they're re-releasing the Ninja Turtles movie. And I always stand by, I can't in good conscience say it's a good movie, but I love the hell out of it. Like the emotions I have attached to it, the fact that it is so dark and kind of gritty and they look so real and the effort I put into, I mean, I'm the same way. Like is Mutant Mayhem a better movie? Yeah, but I adore the original. I just can't not love it.
Dev the Wiser, thank you for the 500 bits. Favorite Fast and Furious character?
See, I'm one of those people where I have seen a handful of the movies, but character, I don't know. I can say actor, which is probably Vin Diesel, which is so boring. It's like the obvious choice almost, but yeah. But again, that's out of like maybe 3 or 4 movies I've seen. I haven't seen on there's like what 12 or something like that. So yeah, definitely haven't seen them all.
Nate, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, Heather, if Duel Monsters was given a live action movie or series adaptation, who would your ideal casting be for Seto Kaiba? Robert Pattinson? That's a great choice. That's a great choice. They'd have to be so brooding. I do love that. I do love that because he's basically an even more edgy Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, and he was already Bruce Wayne, so there you go.
Right. So we'll go with that. Nate, thank you for providing the answer. Jeremiah, thank you for the 500 bits. Disney Sember on What's Love Got to Do with It? It's a great movie.
You know, I never have seen it. Surprisingly, it's supposed to be great. I'll write that down. They'll probably give me an excuse to check that out. I doubt it'll get any views, but it'll give me an excuse to see it.
The Disney Nerd, thank you for the $5 super chat. I've finally seen all 24 Studio Ghibli movies. I was shocked how consistently good their films are. I'd say there are only 4 or 5 you didn't like. I know, this tier list is going to be impossible. They can't all be S's, but by God, the majority of them are.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, like, I'd really have to look at the list and be like, are there any, like, Fs? Like, oh, that's bad. Like, I can't, top of my head, I don't even know. I can't even think of any that'd be like a D top of my head.
It's going to be really hard. And just so you know, everyone, we are doing the tier list on July 29th, I believe it is. Whatever the last Tuesday of the month is, we will be doing that. So start rewatching. Start getting ready, everybody. John, thank you for the $5 super chat. What, in your opinion, is the most difficult part about being a movie critic?
For me, it changes because because I have different styles. It's not like I just stay with one. I can do one as the Nostalgia Critic. I can do one as Disney Sember. I could do one as a Talent Review Show. I could do one as a vlog review. So I guess when I know what I'm gonna do, what I'm gonna go into, sometimes summing up my thoughts ahead of time in a short amount of time can be a little tricky. Like with Superman, again, no spoilers. It was just so much, and really, and I'm thinking of all the other stuff, but like one thing that I talked about was really on my mind. I'm like, man, I want to talk about that just throughout the whole thing, but I know there's all these other things. There's like a bajillion other things to talk about. So Yeah, I mean, but the fun of that is then you get something like when I reviewed Jurassic Rebirth, whatever it was called. I was just suddenly so angry, and I said halfway through, I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't even know why I'm that angry. I don't even think this movie is that bad. I said I think I was just so sick of Jurassic Park sequels. So even that has like kind of a charm to it because people can just see the raw reaction. I think sometimes people like that.
Jace, thank you for the $5 super chat. Missed joke. When Mewtwo controlling the girl said, "From now on, I'm the one that makes the rules," you could have shown Jafar disguised doing that creepy smile.
Maybe does he have like does he have that line in the movie or something? I don't remember. You're probably right.
Trip, thank you for the $5 super chat. Ever read The Great Gatsby, or seen any film version? Also, does Elio deserve the awful box office receipts?
No, I thought Alien was good. Like it's not their best or anything, but I thought it was good. I thought it was imaginative, had a lot of nice, creepy sendbacks to like 80s kids films, which I really like. I was just going to encourage people to either keep remaking and sequeling everything or don't make it too dark because kids don't like dark. And it's like, that's everything I don't want. But for Great Gatsby, yeah, I read the book. It's funny because I hear different things from different people. Some people, of course, say it's a masterpiece and everything. Other people say, yeah, it is pretty overhyped, like overpraised and everything. I get why it's read and celebrated and everything, but I tend to think it's a little overhyped too, personally. But I'm also not a huge literature guy. I know why it's praised. I get it. I think there's better books you could read, though.
The Ultimate Frozen Fan, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, what's it like being forced to watch really bad movies? Most of us can just not watch the new Cat in the Hat, but you have to. It's your job. That's when it's great to just be an actress on the Nostalgia Critic. Doug watches it. He makes the jokes. I just show up and say the funny lines.
But then I can write you saying that you love this bad movie, and everybody will think you love it, or you hate a good movie. No, it depends. Look, as much as I'm like, oh, I'm not looking forward to that and everything, you can go big and silly and have fun with it. And you can talk about why something you really care about is good. I mean, that's the one nice thing about talking about these bad Dr. Seuss movies is that you can go back and really point to why these are so well put together, the original stories. But also compared to like, as IT crowd would say, a proper movie critic. Like someone that actually does see like everything that comes out, like 3 or 4 movies a week. I really don't have to see as much bad stuff as you would think. Like I said, most movie critics have to, bare minimum, see 1 to 2 movies a week, and I don't always have to see a movie a week. It's more like, will people want to know what I think of it, kind of thing. So, yeah, it's definitely, it's not as bad as you would think. And if you have a good sense of humor, sometimes a bad movie can be a lot of fun.
Adriana, thank you for the $10 super chat. Your Phil Collins voice is hilarious. The one of the Disney December of Tarzan 2 kills me. But I wonder, where did you come up with that voice?
Oh, it's just an obnoxious. That's just what I hear when I hear Phil Collins sing in the movie. I'm singing. This is what you should feel sad, because I'm singing. You should feel sad. It doesn't sound like him at all. That's just what I hear. But and I don't even dislike Phil Collins. His music's fine, everything. I didn't get that fad of having him suddenly be the soundtrack, instead of just either having some nice instrumental music let you sink in the emotions or have the characters sing about their emotions, just suddenly having Phil Collins come out and say, feel this! I don't get it. I don't follow it.
Noah, thank you for the $10 super chat. Doug, I know you're busy watching like 1,000 different shows, but believe me, Digimon is worth adding to your list. It mops the floor with Pokemon with quality story/characters.
I believe you. I'm never going to watch it. Not all because I even don't want to watch it, though I don't have a ton of interest, but there's just so many other shows, especially animes. I want to watch Dragon Ball. I want to watch One Piece. These are shows that there's a million of, and I do legit want to check out. When I saw bits of them while doing like these compilation, of these channel lineups and stuff like that. I was watching him like, you know what? This actually does look kind of good. I am kind of getting into this. So yeah, I just can't even get to those right now because I'm so busy. So yeah, probably not. But I believe you. I believe there probably is good stuff in there.
Porcupines, thank you for the 500 bits. Since you like black comedies so dark you aren't even sure they're comedy, I recommend Jam, a 6-episode British sketch show that is the most surreal and darkest comedy I've ever seen.
Okay, Jam, British show.
Also, I really liked that description. Comedy so dark you're not even sure they're comedy.
I do kind of love it. Boy, this just some of the visuals from it look pretty dark. All right, no, I'm down. I'll try to check it out.
Dev the Wiser, thank you for the 500 bits. What are some of your favorite Orlando Bloom performances?
Let me look up some stuff he's in. I mean, like,
don't do Orlando Bloom dirty like that, dog.
Oh, I mean, look, we know what he is. He's a pretty boy that shows up and gets the job done. Nothing else.
Oh my god.
I mean, okay, what are some great performances from him, Heather?
Legolas.
Yeah. Will Turner. I never did see Elizabethtown. Apparently he was supposed to be good in that. Yeah, but I mean, he's fine at it, you know, Troy and stuff. He's in all the, you know, either fantasy or long time ago movies where he carries a sword and looks pretty, and it's like he does it fine.
His shirt's open just enough.
Yeah, I mean, he was in The Good Doctor somewhere. I'm curious about that. But yeah, just Legolas, Will Turner, and whoever he played in Troy.
Future movie actor, thank you for the $5 super chat. This is part 2 of 2, and it's about Pokemon. I haven't seen yet, even though I bought the video cassettes for the full experience with each. Been hoping for a review of the second for quite a while.
What was it again? I forget, that was so long ago.
So they're basically asking, will you watch the other Pokemon movies? They haven't seen like the second and third. Yeah.
No, I haven't seen them either. Part of it is seeing if this gets hit. So it's funny, we were talking about the idea. Originally, we were going to do a theme month, and I was like, well, wait, there's a lot of these to do. Maybe I can just do these every once in a while. And I was asking my boss, which one do you think we should start with? He's like, Pokemon. I'm like, really? Like, just knowing all the copyright BS we had to put up with. He said there's some sort of reason the original couldn't be uploaded on YouTube. And like, it was some sort of sound thing or video. I don't know if there's some sort of weird, bizarre thing. So he's just like, yeah, if we get copyright thing, we'll just fight it like we always do. And then, you know, but like long term, that's got to do well. So I'm like, all right, so that's like the one I started with. And it was cool to go back and see the one gig. Because that's the first one we did when we got the website up, the that guy with the glasses.com. So it was kind of neat going back and reviewing it again. But yeah, I'd be open to seeing the sequels.
Multi Sabata, thank you for the $5 super chat. Thoughts on the film Taxi Driver?
When I first saw it, I liked it, but I didn't love it. And then my wife hadn't seen it, so I was like, okay, well, here, everyone should see it. Let's put it on. The second time I saw it, it was like seeing it for the first time, like, whoa, this is brilliant. Like, this is freaking brilliant. Yeah, and now I love it. I see what everybody's talking about. I think when I saw it before, I think I was like late high school, early college, and it's not that I didn't get any of it, but I didn't get the overall idea of what it was doing. And then I saw it again. I'm like, oh, you're not supposed to know if he's good or bad or what he's going to do. Are you rooting for this guy or are you not? Because you don't even know what direction he's going to go. And just watching it from that standpoint, it's like, oh, man, is that brilliant. And then you don't know the ending and everything. So good. So good.
Ooh, Jeremiah, thank you for the 500 bits. Snow White remake NC?
Oh, yeah. What, are you kidding? Of course.
Jortendo, thank you for the $20 super chat. Doug, you said you were going to play Pokemon Legends Arceus. You should play Pokemon Platinum first and do some research on the characters from the Battle Subway before doing so, though that segment will contain spoilers.
Did we say we do that one? Is that one that's not a turn-based one?
We did necessarily say that was on the list.
I was gonna say, like,
I think maybe at some point we said that would be maybe one of the ones you were more likely to do.
I was gonna say, is it a
know.
turn-based one or no?
Yeah, it still kind of is. Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it does make sense one day to just play one of these damn games. So, you know,
One day.
It's not definite, but it's a definite maybe.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. How would you rank these Brad Bird protagonists? Hogarth from The Iron Giant, Bob from Incredibles, Remy from Ratatouille, and Helen from The Incredibles 2.
I like Hogarth the most. I mean, I was that kid in a lot of ways. Let's see. I guess I'll say Bob, but it's really close with Helen because I really like how that movie incorporated more of the family. And I like the second time they do this story, it's more focused on her. And she's having a great time with it, where Bob, you know, started off good and then kind of went bad, where hers mostly went really good. And I like that. I like that comparison. And then, yeah, I guess Remy.
Zekrom, thank you for the 500 bits. Hey, Doug, sorry I missed the last Ask stream due to a family emergency. Here's my question. Have you ever seen a film widely praised by critics only to disagree? For me, it was Flow, the animated movie about the black cat. Visually stunning and impressive, especially being made in Blender. But once I really started paying attention to everything going on, I was more confused than amazed by the end of the movie.
I think it's... So it depends what you're looking for. I liked it better when I was confused, when I looked up what the director was trying to do, which I usually don't, but this one, every time I thought I had something put together, something else didn't match up. So I'm like, all right, let me just go and see. When I looked up what he was doing, I was like, oh, well, that's kind of lame. So, yeah, it depends. If you do want an explanation, the director does have explanations out there, but it depends what you're looking for. And in answer to your question, yeah, but well, a lot of the Disney remakes, a lot of them were getting like critical praise and everything. I was just big question mark over my head. Yeah, and some of the like, I still don't quite understand Guardians 3. I know I go on and on about that, and I don't hate it, but man, it really is a big question mark over my head. I just thought so many things did not work and were really annoying. But yeah, I don't know. Even after seeing it twice, I'm like, yeah, this still isn't working for me. And there's a ton of other stuff, but yeah, those are one of the biggies, some of the biggies.
Nate, thank you for the $5 super chat. You've done top 11 best Disney villains. Are we ever going to get top 11 best DreamWorks villains list? I'd put Ramses as number 1 personally.
It sounds like a good choice, a biblical choice, if you will. I might put it down. I haven't done I'll write it down, but I haven't done a top 11 list in a while. They're a little trickier to do with the brain fog. There's something about when I get one done, great. Now there's only 10 left. I get another one done, great. Now there's only 9 left. And like, it feels longer than it is, you know what I mean? When I get really bad ADD, because it used to be like really, like that's the one I do when I want to get something done fast, and now somehow it feels longer. But it's not a bad idea, because I know a lot of people like DreamWorks, so I'll write that down.
The Disney Nerd, thank you for the $5 super chat. After seeing Howl's Moving Castle, I can truthfully say, I agree with you. The story just felt so convoluted. I'd give it like a C.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Maybe it's because I read the Howl's Moving Castle book first, and I genuinely prefer the movie over the book. I love Howl's Moving Castle.
There are scenes in there that are wonderful. That whole... Even if I said it, wouldn't really be a spoiler. When they're going through like the kind of dream thing at the end there, then she's in the field and it's dark, and I forget she's saying something to herself or somebody else saying something to her. But just that moment, I was like, man, that was just... I can't even explain why that scene was so good. There's just something like really dreamlike and magical about it. And there are like moments of that. There's seeds of that. More than seeds. There's good nuggets of that in there. I just never quite thought it came together. Like, if you were to ask me, what is the story of that? I remember a lady gets cursed with her age getting older and younger. I don't remember anything. I just remember some of the visuals. I can't remember anything else about the story.
A lover of cinema, thank you for the 500 bits. Which Lex Luthor do you hate more, Jesse Eisenberg or Nicholas Hoult?
Eisenberg. I was like, whoever the other is, Eisenberg. Yeah, sadly. And I'm sure it's not as fun. I mean, that really is a case of miscasting. Nicholas Hoult, I think, could have been good. That's probably a direction thing. But yeah, Eisenberg, I don't see how that could have worked. Maybe in like Smallville that can work, but like in a proper Superman movie, I don't see it.
Ooh, Jeremiah, thank you for the 500 bits. Disney Semper on Agatha All Along.
Yeah, I still got to finish it. I got halfway through it. I was liking it. I started off hating it. Then I got to the second episode. I'm like, all right, that's a little better. And then, like, as soon as the actual journey started, it did get good. So I should probably, you know what it is? I'm waiting for fall to come around because it's a good fall show. So maybe I'll finish it then.
The Ultimate Frozen Fan, thank you for the $10 super chat. It was everywhere, like every obnoxious boy band, except the music was replaced with Pika Pika. We didn't know or care what it was about. It was so annoying. I don't like Pokemon either, by the way.
I can tell. Unless you're quoting me, I guess either is possible.
Nate, thank you for the $5 super chat. Are you ever going to give an NC to the criminally underrated Chuck Jones production Rikki Tikki Tavi, which is a masterpiece in my opinion?
You know, it's good. It is very good. I think because it's usually lumped together with the other Rudyard Kipling Jungle Book stories. I like those a lot more. I like White Seal more, and I like Mowgli's Brothers more. But a lot more people remember the Rikki Tikki Tavi one. So I don't know. I can't see anyone clicking on it, honestly. Any of it, even the one I love, like White Seal or Mowgli's Brothers, I just can't see anyone clicking on it, so probably not. But they are very good, and they're usually lumped together.
Darth Payne, thank you for the 500 bits. So many other online reviewers covered 1986's Transformers the movie already, so when will you do that?
We've been playing around with the idea of doing, like, originally I was going to do a video just about all the Transformer movies, but I'm realizing now with my head the way it is and everything, there really are too many. So I was toying with the idea of like a Transformers month. I don't know yet how I do that because there's so damn many. We were talking about like maybe the animated film, then the first Michael Bay film, then just all the bad ones in one video, and then like, I don't know, Bumblebee, and then like Transformers 1. Oh, but then there's the Beast War thing. I don't know. We'll figure out something.
Big Mac, thank you for that 63-month subscription over on Twitch. Welcome back. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Razor Laser, thank you for the $5 super chat. Happy Z-Day, Dougie boy.
ZU.
Shotgun, thank you for the £5 super chat. I'd love to see you play some of the Grand Theft Auto games. They have some great stories. San Andreas is a personal favorite. Maybe when 6 finally comes out.
Yeah, that'd be
fun for you to kind of jump on that bandwagon.
Well, especially because, again, we're toying around with like, well, what can we stream on YouTube? And we never got hit for Resident Evil 2, so we're like, all right, what can we play though? What can we actually do? I played, the only one I played, number 1. That's the overhead game. That's the only one I ever played. And then like years later, I saw whatever Grand Theft Auto 3 or 4, and I was just like, oh, these have come a long way. So, yeah, it would be good. It would be funny that the only ones I ever played are the first one and then the last one. What was it, 6? Is that the one that's coming out?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Or that would be pretty funny. So, it might be an idea. It looks cool. All the trailers I've seen look really cool.
Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. I know you said the original Christopher Reeve version is superior, but would you say James Gunn's Superman is at least better than Superman 2?
No. I really, really like Superman 2 quite a bit. No, and I'm very curious to see what people are going to say. I could see either. If somebody goes in and says, man, I couldn't get into that at all. I get it. If somebody goes in and says, that was the best Superman movie I ever saw. I also get it. It really kind of depends on just what you're looking for. So we'll see.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. And Barnyard, which performance surprised you more by how much the actor put into the role? David Koechner or Sam Elliott?
Probably David. I think it's Koechner. Maybe you're right. Koechner.
I have no idea.
I'm not sure. It's one of those where, oh no, I know because I looked up in it when I don't know how to pronounce a name. I look up an interview and I see what the reporter calls the person. So I think it is Koechner. But probably that, because Sam Elliott, you're used to getting dramatic performances from, David Koechner, and he's a fine actor, but he usually does comedy. So to hear him as a cartoon suddenly be really threatening and scary, and in Barnyard of all things, that was really impressive. But yeah, everyone surprisingly, in terms of the performances, brought their A game for that movie. Very bizarre.
Jack, thank you for the €5 super chat. Would you imagine an animated Evil Dead movie where it's 2D animated like in the 90s or 2000s, especially if they had those crazy, funny, and scary faces?
It'd be cool. I don't know if it'll ever. I can't see it ever happen. Even back in the day, I can't see that happening. But it'd be awesome.
Jace, thank you for the $5 super chat. Sorry about the Dogma messages. My initial statement, which you heard past 2 weeks, was broken down because doing it in one super chat would have cost my month rent.
Good Lord. Yeah, thank you, but pay your rent.
Yes.
Neither me nor Dogma is worth it. But thank you for being so passionate.
WC, thank you for the $5 super chat. As a 20-year-old that sees Fortnite everywhere, I get your view on Pokemon now. Both big sellouts that kids will suck in easily. Pokemon's more creative, though. Hey now, I love Fortnite.
I was going to say, I mean, I think they're both... Yes, they are both obviously commercial. I mean, Fortnite maybe because it is literally a game. I mean, when people want to look at a story or something, it's a video game. That's like kind of the first insult they go to. So I guess I can see where you're coming from with that. But they're both very creative in very different ways. And they open themselves up to a lot of not just world building, but different like creatures and characters you can come across and variations and everything. So like, I get it. I'm not going to say like they're not creative. You can just kind of see the commercialism, slathered all over it.
Zekrom, thank you for the 500 bits. I think they didn't know that the first one went through because it's the same question about the film critically loved by critics and about flow and yeah.
Gotcha.
The fifth, Chris, thank you for the $5 super chat. I know you're not a wrestling fan, but you should definitely review the 2000 film Ready to Rumble. It's definitely in the so bad it's good category.
Yeah, has there been like a resurgence of that or something? My boss called up and said that too. He's like, have you done Ready to Rumble? I'm like, no, but a lot of people have been asking me recently, and I don't know anything about wrestling. I know very little. So yeah, maybe I'll put it down. I can't remember if I had it on the list or not, but I'll put it down.
Razor Laser, thank you for the $10 super chat. One movie franchise has to go, and please elaborate why. Jurassic Park, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, or Pirates of the Caribbean?
Pirates. I like Pirates, but it's not. If you get rid of it, you're not missing like anything that essential. Like Lord of the Rings, Star Wars. I mean, even Jurassic Park. You read the first Jurassic Park. Holy smokes, what you're missing! Pirates is just a good movie. It's a good fun movie. It's probably the one too that no, the second one's pretty fun. I guess you could say technically it has more good movies than Jurassic Park does, but yeah. But in terms of like the influence it had and everything, like no, I think the other ones are probably more inspiring in that respect.
Ricky, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hi, a new Naked Gun coming soon. Will you be doing an NC on Police Squad, short airtime, and the Naked Gun trilogy, and give your thoughts based on trailers?
Probably not. And I like all of those. I like the Naked Gun movies. I like Police Squad. There's not a whole bunch I can add to. Roger Ebert used to say their movies are kind of review proof because it's like we either say it's funny or it's not, and I think it's funny, so thumbs up. He's like, it's hard to know what to say about because it's how you get sucked into the story. But they do usually, yes, you can talk about the timing, you can talk about the acting, how committed like Leslie Nielsen is to it and everything. But I don't think I could add too much. Definitely not enough to fill up like 15, 20-minute video. And I'll probably see the new Naked Gun when it comes out. I'm curious about it.
Ice Luigi, thank you for the $5 super chat. I heard you didn't play a lot of Nintendo growing up, but what exact consoles were the closest that you played the most?
I played a shit ton of Nintendo growing up. Oh my god, we were Nintendo kids. Sega is what we didn't have. And let's see. I mean, we did. I always make fun of the N64, but we had it. We played it. We played GoldenEye. We played Mario Kart. I mean, we played all of those. GameCube is the last one I probably played seriously, and then we did get a Nintendo Wii, but there's maybe like 3 or 4 games I played on there seriously, like Smash Brothers, the Michael Jackson dancing game I actually did play quite a bit. And that's probably the last major one I had. Sometimes I have a Switch. Like if Brad's just not using his, he'll let me borrow it for like a stream or something. But yeah, that's kind of the last major one. But no, we had a ton of Nintendo games. I still have my original Nintendo and Super Nintendo.
Porcupines, thank you for the 500 bits. What did Rob think of Superman? I miss sibling rivalry. Do you guys just always agree now?
No, he hasn't seen it. I had an early critic screening of it, and sometimes you can bring a guest to it, but that was one where you couldn't. So he hasn't seen it yet, and I am so, even if people are indifferent to it or don't have any major opinion, I am just so curious what people are gonna think about, at the very least, certain parts of the movie.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Which main character from an adult superhero show do you like more? Mark from Invincible or Butcher from The Boys?
Uh, is Mark the wait?
Yeah, Mark's the main
Mark?
character. He's invincible. Mark is
Okay, all right.
invincible. I would
Um,
say Mark, just because there's a lot
really?
more for him
Okay.
to grow. I don't know, like
No, you know what though? I've only seen season one, so that's not fair. I
oh yeah.
mean, you could be totally right. You could come a whole way. I will say Butcher's a little bit more my speed. That's just kind of the fun. Like, oh, this guy gets to be the main. Like, this guy's usually the side character. He gets to be the main character. Awesome. But that is true. I haven't seen Invincible past the first season. I really should because I hear it's good.
Dan the Best Man, thank you for that Prime subscription over on Twitch. Welcome,
Thank you.
appreciate that. Future Movie Actor, thank you for the $5 super chat. I don't refer to the reboot as Ghostbusters 2016, but as Ghostbusters Answer the Call. Admittedly, call the original Ghostbusters 1984 sometimes too.
I mean, you can. I get the feeling the average person, if you say Ghostbusters, are gonna think of the original. Well, then somebody said the original's called Superman the movie, and I'm just like, does it say that in the opening credits? Does it say it on the DVD? I never see it on there.
Isaac, thank you for the $5 super chat. For both of you, who is your favorite Spider-Man in the Spider-Verse movies, not counting Miles?
Gwen's a close second, especially after the second one. She's a close second, but it's still Noir. I love Spider-Man Noir. He's just so cool.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. I really recommend The Jungle Book, The Adventures of Mowgli from 1989. I had the complete collection on DVD, but it's lost in my large DVD collection, but it's on, I think they put a link because it just says it's on Star and YouTube. Sadly, it's not on DVD anymore, but if you want a more true version of the book, I recommend it.
Oh, it looks like an anime. Okay. Well, it's kind of cool. I never saw this, but apparently they did an anime like maybe around the same time of Peter Pan, and it was a show. Like continuing adventures and kind of like the one they did in America the Fox's Peter Pan and the Pirates, and that's supposed to be really good. I like when they do that, and like there's something about those anime shows, especially like in the 80s and 90s. Like, yeah, some can be corny and just whatever, but I feel like they did put a little bit more effort into them, and they kind of treated the kids a little bit more adult. A lot of them did have kind of that Miyazaki feel to it a bit. There's a show called Grimm's Fairy Tales that ran on Nickelodeon that was from Japan. It was an anime, and they were really well put together. They were just retelling classic fairy tale, but they told them much closer to to the original stories. And yeah, so I would be down for that. It's a long way of saying I'll try to check it out.
Shotgun, thank you for the £5 super chat. It's the 30-year anniversary of GoldenEye this year. Any chance for a review with hype picking up for a new Bond, or 40th for A View to Kill for Walken?
Whoa. Okay, everyone has those. It's the 30th anniversary of Jurassic Park. It's the 30th anniversary. Like, no, that sounds right. That sounds right. Something about GoldenEye. That's like, what? Like, I don't know why that one blew my mind, but was that really 95? That wasn't 96? I mean, what does it matter? It's only 1 year difference. But yeah, no, that is one of those like suddenly feel old moments. Yeah, it's another one. I like James Bond, and I've seen most of the movies. I'm not a diehard enough fan to go and review them, really talk about why they're great. I mean, I always say go watch Brad Jones and Snob for that. Like, he loves James Bond. I think you need like a super fan to cover those movies and really talk about why they're awesome.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In season 2 of Jake Long, what do you think of the redesign of the Huntsman? In season 1, I think he was so cool looking. In season 2, while not awful, I think he looks pretty generic.
Hard agree. Yeah, he looks bad. That's probably my least favorite redesign out of all of them. I do like what they did with him younger and the squeaky voice. I thought that was funny, but that's when you give him the real eyes, when he's younger. I mean, but when he's the grown up and the villain, yeah, give him those glowing red eyes. That was intimidating. That was menacing. And now he just looks like a dude. He looks boring. And yeah, I didn't get that change at all.
Sean, thank you for the 500 bits. Hey, Doug, you say you're a fan of Buster Keaton, then prove it by including some of his commercials in the next special. He's done ads for gas station, brands of beer, and of course, there's all those Alka-Seltzer ads he did with Speedy.
At first I'm like, wait a minute, they had commercials in the silent film days? It's like, you're right, he did keep going into not just talkies, but I mean, like, yeah, he's in like Funny Thing Happened the Way of the Forum and stuff like that. Like, there's a whole bunch of stuff he was in where he did talk. I guess I could look at. I'd have to see if the audience would get into it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I might check that out. Is my camera getting darker? By the way,
It is. It sure is. It
That
sure
is
is.
really
You're
weird.
getting darker.
Huh? Okay. I wonder, does that help or make? Oh,
A
that
little
actually did
bit.
help a
Yeah,
bit.
that did
Okay.
help.
Okay.
Super Droid, thank you for the 500 bits. Hi, have you seen Saturday Night Fever? And if so, what are your thoughts? Also, what are your thoughts on the Bee Gees? Night Fever is my favorite song from them, with Staying Alive not too far behind.
I like the Bee Gees. I think a big part of it is because I did grow up with them. I don't know what I would think of them if, like, I never heard them before and then just you played them for me now. I don't know what I would think of. Man, that camera's getting darker again. Very weird.
It is.
But yeah, but I like him fine. And I haven't seen Saturday Night Fever for a long time. I remember liking it. I remember being good. I remember thinking, oh wow, this is actually a little heavier than I thought it would be. Everyone just thinks of the dancing and the strutting and everything, but there actually is a lot of heavy stuff in there. So I remember liking it, but I haven't seen it in literally decades.
Peter, thank you for the $50 super chat. Really appreciate that. Thank you. Hey, Doug, wanted to tell you enjoyed your ICSP video. Your Pepsi Man jokes made me laugh. Had to point out something you missed. The music in the RoboCop fried chicken ad was the score from BTTF3. Also, how did Heather survive her head exploding? That's a secret that I cannot tell you. I'm so sorry.
Ancient Japanese secret. No, it's funny. You know who else noticed that? Bear McCreary.
Oh,
he
really?
just texted me. And he's like, surprised you didn't point out that was Back to the Future 3. And I was like, it is. Like, I knew it was from a Western. It was a Western soundtrack, but I didn't put together. I'm like, oh yeah, that is. At the very least, it's the music they play at the end, showing the preview for the next one, for Back to the Future 3. I always thought that was like generic Western music. I didn't remember it was actually from the film proper. So yeah, no, that's a very observant ear.
The Disney Nerd, thank you for the $5 super chat. I'm the quiet minority about this. I didn't like The Wind Rises. I don't have any specific issues with the film. I just found it boring and slow.
I get that. That's so funny. You're one of the few that didn't like it for honestly not controversial or non-controversial real whatever or ethical reason. That is just it was boring. That's fair. I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. I get the talk around it certainly, but I think it's clear what he's trying to focus on, and for me it succeeded, but I get it.
AOTV, thank you for the $10 super chat. Did you know there used to be a Batman monster truck? It was driven by Jason Seascock, and he won several big shows in it, as well as the World Racing Championship back-to-back years in 07 and 08.
Cool. Sounds awesome.
Love that. Razor Laser, thank you for the $20 super chat. Whenever I imagine the CA people as animals, here's my list. Doug and Rob as penguins. Okay. Malcolm as a lemur. I love that.
Way off.
Heather as a hamster. Brad as a beaver. Walter as a crocodile. And Jim as a pelican. I feel like Walter would make a better pelican than Jim.
I agree. And Jim would be the crocodile. You know, it's funny, Heather. When you say guinea pig, I'm like guinea pig, but I literally just saw a movie where there's a guinea pig with purple hair. So as soon as they said that, I'm like, oh, you know what? I can see that.
Future movie actor, thank you for the $5 super chat. Secret genius to Cat in the Hat 2003. He purposefully intrusive, obnoxious, and grating in order to teach the lesson to the kids to be better behaved.
Well, there is such a thing as doing your job too well.
Putt Putt commits a hit and run. I had to read that whole name. Thank you for the $5 super chat. First, NC was cool as ice. I met him and he signed my copy of the film. He has a great sense of humor and appreciates how much people love his dumb movie.
I think that's good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sorry.
Vanilla Ice, yeah. I remember there was some point like early on, you could tell he was going through a transition where he was like kind of denying it. No, I'm not going to be that. And I like he did turn around, he leaned into it, and he's having fun with it. And I think that is the best thing you can do. You know, like kind of celebrate it. I mean, we're still talking about all these years later. There's so many things that people didn't like back then that we just forget about. And we're still talking about that. I think that is like there is something to that, definitely. So, and no, Joe, Ninja Rap is kind of a jam. I'm sorry, it just kind of is.
Isaac, thank you for the $5 super chat. Did you hear Michael Bay is returning to direct the new Transformers movie? What other director do you feel could handle a movie in the franchise?
Uh, hmm. It'd be interesting. You know, I was gonna say it'd be interesting to see what Lord and Miller would do, but I almost feel like Transformer One is kind of what they would do. Yeah, I like Transformers One, so I would like to see more animation directors like the people who did like Spider Verse. You know, that could be kind of interesting. Edgar Wright, I think, could maybe do an interesting one too. Yeah, like the people that kind of do odd stuff already. Bring that oddness to the source material. My Michael Bay's not weird enough.
Hurricane, thank you for the $5 super chat. Good afternoon. Ever think of doing an NC episode or review of Arlington Road? If you've never seen it, Jeff Bridges and Tim Robbins. Hello?
Boy, that sounds from Arlington Road. That sounds so familiar. When it came out, 99. Okay, I do kind of remember seeing like the ads for it and stuff like that. Did I see this? I think I did. I think I remember liking it enough. I didn't love it, but I was like, yeah, that's good. That's fine. That works out well. I don't know if I could do a review on it. I don't think there's too much I could bring to it.
Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. Have you caught up with Bob's Burgers yet, Doug? What do you think of the casino episode? I really liked the backstory with Linda's grandfather.
Yeah, I did too. The one thing I had a slight issue with, that's such a big thing that they talked about. And it was going on kind of all just in that casino, and while there's like a heist going on and everything. And I get that that's kind of what they do. They talk about these big things while something else really big and weird is going on. But that felt like such a big one. I would have liked if maybe at least half of it took place, I don't know, like at home or at the restaurant or something like that. And then they go to the casino. But that's a real nitpick. I did like it. I thought that was a good episode.
AOTV, thank you for the $5 super chat. I asked Kevin Conroy before he died to give a birthday message to John Seasock. He gave John an inspirational message that John really enjoyed.
Yeah, well, I mean, depending on when he gave it to, yeah, I'm sure that meant a great deal. I always heard just amazing things. I mean, on top of being just obviously a phenomenal actor, I've just heard so many wonderful things about him. So, yeah, no, definitely a loss, man. It still hurts.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. How would you rank these Mae Whitman characters? Katara from Avatar, Rose from Jake Long, and Amity from Owl House.
Oh, yeah, that is her as Amity, isn't it? I probably like Amity the most. I think she had the most going on. It was kind of complex. I like the change. I like they do the change early. After that, I have to wait. I have to finish Jake Long to see. Yeah, it's probably Katara first. At first, I was gonna say, well, Rose is kind of a fun character and what they do with her, but I'm like, no, I know Katara's a better character. Just there's more layers to her.
Razor Laser, thank you for the $10 super chat. If the movie industry shuts down, would you recover and move on, or will you never survive? Will you simply lay down and perish?
What if people just give up on entertainment? I mean, it's never gonna die. I could definitely see movie theaters. Movie theaters are they're going back and forth between having a hard time and not a hard time. But I do know people that work out there, and they're like, yeah, it's pretty rough right now. But to answer your question, it's like I'm the nostalgia critic. I just go back to older stuff. It's not
or
like I have to cover the newest stuff.
Or games.
Yeah.
Heaven knows.
Well, again,
Doug is just an expert gamer. So
yeah, obviously. But I mean, even if just new movies weren't that wouldn't happen. But even if it did happen, like I was literally reviewing movies that were 20 years old anyway. So it's like that's already where I started.
Levi, thank you for the 6-month membership over on YouTube. Appreciate that. Welcome back.
Thank you.
For Disney-Cember, are you going to do the show Star Wars Resistance? Having seen both seasons, I can certainly say it's on par with Rebels' most okay eps.
I don't even know if I heard of that show. I'll try to look it up.
Shouting Joker, thank you for the 500 bits. I don't know if you knew this, but Tim Rice, who did a lot of songs in animated Disney movies in the 90s, example Lion King, also did songs in that really bad Nutcracker movie. That must explain why the Rat King's musical numbers reminded me a lot of Be Prepared.
Did he really? It's funny because he's one of my favorite, not that I know a ton of lyricists, but I mean, one of my favorite. I mean, he's so good. The Lloyd Webber stuff is phenomenal and everything. And some of the Disney stuff. And then he got with Elton John. And I'm sure they have a wonderful friendship, whatever. But I just remember, like, Lion King lyrics are fine. But a lot of the other lyrics, I remember them working out. It's just like, this isn't that great. And now knowing that I did the Nutcracker too, I'm like, yeah, what is the last thing I remember Tim Rice doing that was like really, really good? I could be wrong. Maybe he has. I just haven't seen it. Maybe I've only seen the bad stuff. But whoa, that's rough to hear.
Sean, thank you for the $10 super chat. What happened to Tamara? What do you mean what happened to her? She was on the show and people really liked her. I know, but she's only been in one video within the past year. Oh, wow, you're right.
But did you just have a conversation with that person? That person have a conversation with us? What the hell just happened there?
That's what they wrote.
I was like, what the hell? The voices are back. What's going on?
That's what they wrote. I tried to do my best to differentiate between the two different quotations that they had. I did my best.
Yeah, no, she wanted to do her. She said she didn't want a goodbye video, so we're just like, all right. And she said, if you ever need me for anything, let me know. There is something else. It's not my production, but there is something else she's working on with some Channel Awesome stuff and everything. So there is more stuff coming. But yeah, she's still around.
AOTV, thank you for the $10 super chat. Jim Carrey won KCA, Kid Choice Award, for favorite villain over Frankie Grand, Henry Danger, Harrison Ford, Captain America, Jeff Goldblum, Wicked, Michael Keaton, Beetlejuice, Michelle Yeoh, Wicked, and Rita Ora, Descendants.
Kids!
JL, thank you for the 1,000 bits. Bat credit card. Also, which cartoon from the 80s do you love watch over and over?
Man, what do I put on? So it's funny. There's some I will put on because it's like, ooh, I want what? Like, this is good material. And then there's some where it's like, I take a gummy, I'm gonna watch them kind of thing. And for the pure nostalgia, if I take a gummy, I do like watching like Garfield or Tiny Toons. Those are pretty fun. I think Tiny Toons was still 80s, like late 80s. I'm pretty sure with Garfield as well. But Ninja Turtles, I love watching the old Ninja Turtles. Yeah, those are pretty good.
Future movie actor, thank you for the $5 super chat. While I did watch Power Rangers as a kid, I did vastly prefer Big Bad Beetleborgs. Same with preferring Yu-Gi-Oh! Over Pokemon.
Cool. I know very little about all those things. Sorry.
Treg, thank you for the 500 bits. Have you seen any of Cowboy Bebop's creators' newest show, Lazarus or Rick and Morty Season 8? And if so, what are your thoughts?
Haven't seen Rick and Morty yet. I'm just going to wait for it to come to Max. I saw the first episode. First two. I definitely saw the first episode. It was fine. I should give it more of a chance because most of their shows, I watched the first episode. I'm like, that's fine. And then they get really, really good. So I should keep going with it.
Future movie actor, thank you for the $5 super chat. I think Cat in the Hat 2026 is probably going to benefit from more imaginative stuff. That toot fart joke was really bad, though. Worst one in the trailer.
Yeah, even before then, I agree. There is more imagination put into like the backgrounds and the worlds, and even the idea of them going someplace where it's like, I don't know, the giraffe that laughs or something like that, like the animals that rhyme with. Like, there's a place where they all are. That's a little funny. I mean, I don't think it's particularly Dr. Seuss, but it's like that's a little funny. Yeah, but most everything else was not grabbing me at all, especially the animation. So it doesn't look finished. Like the backgrounds look finished, but the main characters don't look finished. So I don't know. It didn't look good to me, but yeah, it could be proven wrong.
Future movie actor, thank you for the $5 super chat. With how Superman 2025 is expected to perform this weekend, Rebirth may have a huge drop and bomb as a result. Could get your wish after all.
um, well, we'll see. A part of me always goes, "Oh, people work hard on it. I don't want to do bad." But I mean, what is that? The sixth or seventh movie? I mean, if this one drops off, I won't be crying that hard.
Deanna, thank you for the $10 super chat. Is there a movie that was a digital release only that you think should have went to theaters? I feel that way for K-pop Demon Hunters. Animation and songs would have been an elevated experience in theaters. I honestly
Yeah, man, I
wouldn't be
gotta see it.
surprised if K-pop Demon Hunter, given how popular it is, does get a theatrical release in like a couple of weeks, especially like a sing-along version or something like that. I would not be surprised if we see that.
Yeah, I haven't even seen it yet, and I agree. I probably would just all have heard about it. I mean, most of them did. Like, I did want to see. It's funny. I wanted to see these movies on the big screen, but I still didn't when they released Soul and Luca.
Yeah,
They did
same.
release it, and I still didn't see 'em. Especially Luca. Luca, I just love the colors, and just the world and those characters so much. Um, I'm trying to think. I'm sure there is, but just blanking on them right now. Yeah, maybe one of these, like, no, even Netflix, they usually release them on the big screen. The more I think about it, I'm sure there is. I'm just totally blanking. Sorry.
Will, thank you for the 12-month membership over on YouTube. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Wow, 12 months. I just need to say you guys are great and thank you for everything. I guess I'll go full circle and ask my very first question. Doug, possible Disney December for for First Kid starring Sinbad.
I don't know if enough people know what that is. I definitely remember seeing it advertised. I never did see the movie. But yeah, it is one of those. When I first started Nostalgia Critic, a lot of people, you gotta do First Kid, you gotta do First Kid, and now I don't hear anything about it. So probably not, but I don't know. It might be a possibility. If enough people want to hear my thoughts on it, maybe I will.
On a Joker, thank you for the 500 bits. Thoughts on Sinners? If you haven't seen it, then do you like movies in 3D? I still enjoy the gimmick, even the old school red and blue ones.
Yeah, there's some movies I go into not even knowing it's in 3D. I'll be like, oh, okay. Like Thunderbolts, I saw in 3D, and it's surprisingly good 3D because usually 3D has to be very bright and colorful, and Thunderbolts definitely isn't that. But it still looked really good. Um, and yes, I have seen Sinners. I actually did a review of it. Maybe a month ago, something like that. I did get to it late, and I sadly didn't see it on IMAX, and I feel bad because apparently they did that trick where they move the bars like that. They don't just cut to a different shot where they're not there. They actually move it, and they incorporate the camera movement with it. Because How to Train Your Dragon, the remake, did that. I was like, that's inspired. Oh my God. And like, what a great idea. And it turned out Sinners did it before, but I didn't see it on IMAX. It is very, very good. If they, I know they released on the big screen, re-released it on the big screen. And I remember well enough for that. If they re-released on IMAX, I would go to see it there.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Lars of the Stars will be released on Amazon Prime, so I've heard a prediction that the show will be for more older audiences than Steven Universe. What are your thoughts? Do you want it to be like that, or do you think it would feel forced?
I think whatever their idea is and whoever they're aiming it for, just go with their gut on that. My guess would be they probably will because Steven Universe Future, is that the epilogue series? I wouldn't say it's adult, but I'd argue it's the most grown up out of everything where not a ton is happening. They're just kind of sitting around talking. They are dealing with stuff, and yeah, sometimes there's action and everything, but it's much more, it really is an epilogue series. Which is not something kids series do. That is more of like a grown-up thing. So if they went that route, it wouldn't surprise me.
Maze, thank you for the $5 super chat. Howdy, Doug and Heather. Doug, we all
Hi.
know you hate the sequels, but if you were chosen to direct a Jurassic movie, how would you pitch it?
Oh man, I mean, just have them in the city. Have tanks go after them. I mean, have armies go after them. Have them open a park in the city if you want, and then they get. I don't know. There's so many that like that's just so obvious and basic to me. Do more genetic mutations with it. I mean, just go crazy. Make a B movie. Make something silly. Make a combo if you want something that where it's like it's a B movie. It's obviously silly, but they're treating it really serious. Like just really, really have fun with them. That's why I feel like these movies just don't have fun. They just show the dinosaurs, put everything else on repeat, and then throw in some sort of commentary that has nothing to do with dinosaurs at all. And science fiction elements that have nothing to do with dinosaurs. So yeah, just people want to see dinosaurs. So do I. Make it about the dinosaurs. Make it about the dinosaurs and people, and put them, in places that are interesting and fun.
Ulysses, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hello, Doug. You probably answered this, but do you have any anime movies you adore and love that are not Studio Ghibli?
Oh yeah. Let's see, Akira. I gotta see Ghost in the Shell again because that's I saw it when I was younger, and I think I didn't follow it when I was younger on anime movie. It has been a while though. The more I think about it. What's it called? Voices of a Distant Star. That's a short, but
Ooh, so good.
anything by Satoshi Kon is phenomenal. Millennium Actress. Tokyo Godfathers is all fantastic. Perfect Blue, phenomenal. Yeah, there are a lot of Studio Ghibli ones popping up here, but yeah, it's a fair amount. That should be pretty good.
Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. What are your thoughts on Robert Wise's The Day the Earth Stood Still? I think we can argue that its lesson is still very much relevant.
It will always be relevant. There's things about it that certainly are dated and silly, but you definitely recognize, oh, that's of that time. I mean, where we still use that imagery everywhere. So if anything, there is kind of a love, for that style. But I just remember that was such a fascinating point of view when the alien lands and it's like, this planet's in trouble. Get all the world's leaders together. We need to talk about this. Well, that's not very easy. There's a lot of war. No. There's no time for that. Put away the childish stuff. Your planet is in danger. Get them together now. And just the fact that we couldn't do that is both like surprising and not the least bit surprising at the same time. It's kind of like saying get one of every animal together. And just the unique point of view it had was so fascinating. And yeah, it's always going to be relevant. It'll be relevant up until the end, honestly.
Sebastian, thank you for the $10 super chat. I know it's not your thing as much as others, but do you think you'll ever talk about talk more about Godzilla movies? The few times you have, I've loved your perspective. Godzilla versus Biollante is a big recommendation. Biollante? I'm sorry.
I've seen, Godzilla movies and obviously Kong movies and stuff like that. I like them. I haven't seen all of them. I'm definitely not a super fan. And if a new one comes out, I'll talk about and give my thoughts. But I always make it clear I'm not like, a big kaiju guy. But they are cool. I do watch them, but I haven't seen anywhere near the majority or anything like that. And I know there's a super fandom for it, and they know the tropes. They know what a movie should include. So it had to be something where I could bring something unique to it. And I feel like so many other people who are super fans are bringing unique points of view to it that are probably more interesting than mine because they have more of an understanding of it, because they've seen more of it and have a passion for it. So it's not something I'm looking to do. I think we had like a, Godzilla month or Godzilla versus Kong month, as an option maybe. We have that written down, but yeah, it's not my passion necessarily, but I do enjoy it. And I can talk about it if people want me to.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, I know you're probably not an Oscars guy, but do you agree that Dances with Wolves should have won Best Picture over Goodfellas? My answer, hard no.
I didn't know it. I thought that was the winner. It really wasn't, huh? Wait, so Goodfellas won Best Picture? Man, I just thought Wolves took everything that year.
Right, so do you agree that Dances with Wolves should have won Best Picture over Goodfellas?
I guess not. Goodfellas is good all the way through. Dances with Wolves, like Goodfellas is really, really damn good the whole way. Dancing with Wolves is phenomenal, like better than Goodfellas through, I mean, probably at least half of it, if not 2/3 of it. And then you get to that last third, which isn't awful, but it's like, okay, well, we know what the last half hour is going to be. Let's just cozy up and get through it. And not even that what they're saying is wrong or anything, but just the first 2/3 was so phenomenal and so interesting. And Kevin Costner's still flat too. So I guess I would say Goodfellas. I do prefer Goodfellas more in general too.
Chad is saying that Dances with Wolves did win.
It did win. Okay.
Yeah, it did win. I don't know if I read it weird or misunderstood or what, but
I was gonna say that sounded like that was the darling of the Academy Awards. I was like, really? Goodfellas? Like, I feel like no, yeah, because I kept hearing Martin Scorsese 0, and still no Oscars and everything. I'm like, he got it for Goodfellas? It doesn't make any sense.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Speaking of animes, would you ever do things from the 80s or Voltron Force?
Anime is tricky because usually the copyright is so strong in Japan and everything. That's why we're kind of dipping our foot a little bit with the Pokemon movie. Even though we technically did before, but again, we couldn't upload before. So we'll see. We'll kind of, dip our feet in a little bit more. And I've never seen Voltron, sadly, even though I know that's like a very popular 80s show and everything. That's just one that somehow I missed. It was just never on when I was around for some reason.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Heather, what are some of your favorite Denzel Washington performances? Okay, so I saw this coming. I looked stuff up ahead of time. I am looking at his filmography. I am surprised by how much of this I have never seen.
He is a wonderful actor. He's been in some fantastic movies. I would make a very strong argument he's in a lot more bad stuff than good. He's usually good in them. But he's in a lot of, I almost call them filler movies, like just paycheck movies. Okay, I'll do this to get to the stuff I really want to do. So that's not surprising.
Yeah.
Once you should definitely, Malcolm X is fantastic.
I have seen Malcolm X.
Really okay. American Gangster is very good.
I haven't seen that.
Glory, he's really good in.
Nope.
Glory's really good.
There's just so many of these I haven't seen. I haven't even seen Manchurian Candidate. I saw
he's
Remember
good
the
in
Titans.
That too. That's fun. Remember the Titans, he's fantastic in.
He's great in Remember the Titans.
Yeah,
man.
Well, there you go. Some good choices.
Yeah, I guess Malcolm X and Remember the Titans. But man, I'm surprised. I don't know this man's filmography.
I never did see Flight. That's apparently supposed to be really good.
Sean, thank you for the $10 super chat. This is part 1 of 2. Do you remember your first time watching Blues Brothers movie? Brad said that he was looking forward to the second one because he loved the first one. I saw both on TV. I don't even mind the sequel.
I mind the sequel. I would say the sequel would be a fine interlude in a concert. That's what I think it should have been.
Interesting.
They like, you get some musicians up there, they play, and they show a little bit of the movie, getting you to the next performer. And then they come out, they perform, and they play a little bit of the movie. That's what I think they should have done. But yeah, I love the original. The extended one is like extended Lord of the Rings. Watch it after you see the original. Don't start off showing it to be, because it's way too long. I've tried that before, and everyone I've shown it to, they're just like, this is long. And it's just like, yeah, I know. So definitely show them the original first. But yeah, I love it. It's that's another Bear McCreary story. When he was out here, we couldn't go to that many places, but he just wanted to go to as many places where they shot the Blues Brothers as possible because he loves that movie. Yeah, I don't know. I think I saw some clips beforehand, like of some of the car chases. So when I sat down and watched the whole movie, it was just so fun imagining how are they going to get to that pileup? How are all these cops going to chase him? When you see it starts with a speeding ticket, that is just so hilarious.
Cam, thank you for the $5 super chat. After 18 years of doing this, what would be the one joke you actually regret making?
I'm sure there's a ton, honestly. It's not even like necessarily it hasn't aged well or something like that. There's just some jokes where I'm just like, oh, what a lame. Oh, I went for that obvious joke. The ones that make me cringe the most is either one where I'm very obviously trying to force a meme. I try not to do that as much. I still do it a little bit. And ones that were clearly taking something that was popular at the time, or like a catchphrase that's popular at the time, like winning or something like that. I'm just like, oh god, that's cringy. but some, you could definitely argue that gives it a little bit of a charm, like of its time, certainly. So I'm not like, it's awful, it's all crap. Like, no, that's just the stuff that I don't like. See, stuff that doesn't age well. It's like, I get it. We're all trying to push the envelope, be a little shocking and stuff. Like, some does age well. Like, oh wow, he said what others weren't. But others, yeah, just are dumb and don't age well. So, but I know that's a part of comedy. For me, it's more when I say something that's like a catchphrase that is lame, or like trying to force a meme. I'm like, yeah, I know what I was doing, and that was dumb.
That was my computer, not yours, chat. I'm so sorry. Trip, thank you for the $5 super chat. Ever seen any episode of the 80s Twilight Zone? Think that'll be next month's. I think they're trying to say Twilight-tober Zone.
Probably. And no, he's not doing that. And no, I haven't seen it.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Which Superman and Lois do you think has better chemistry? Tim Daly and Dana Delaney from the cartoon, or Christopher Reeve and Margot Kidder from the movies?
Reeve and Kidder, even though they do have good chemistry in the show. But yeah, Reeve and Kidder are just, I mean, I don't know. When I think romantic moments and romance, I mean, I do think of them flying in the sky and everything. And the romance in the animated series is great, but I mean, do you think when you hear the word romance, does that pop in your head? Like, it doesn't for me personally, but they do work very well.
Sean, thank you for the $10 super chat. This is part 2 of 2 about Blues Brothers. Brad said that he thought he was going to be in the minority on Blues Brothers 2K because he met some kids who also saw it and they were like, what? You didn't like it? WTF, that movie was amazing.
Really? Man, that's... Well, we were growing up by that, but okay, for a second I thought you meant like he was a... Well... What would we be? We'd probably be in high school, like late high school. Yeah, I guess we'd still be kids. That's weird that high school kids would like that movie. Yeah, I thought it was lame, and everyone around me thought it was lame. So, yeah, I don't know.
Sean, thank you for the $10 super chat. Doug, thank you for always being a constant source of entertainment through these 18 years. I always appreciate it. Any theme month plans coming up?
Yeah, well, I like what we did this year, where we let members vote on it. I thought that was kind of cool, and also gave me an idea of like what people more or less wanted to see and what they're leaning more towards. So I'm liking that. So we still have I mean, we got a ton of theme month ideas. And we'll probably do the same thing where we just put it to a vote. And thank you again for the kind words.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Outside of Just Married, what are some other Ashton Kutcher performances you enjoy?
I'd have to look them up. That's another one where I don't think I've seen a ton. But I do remember him being pretty, I remember him being pretty funny and charming. Boy, yeah, not much. I really have not seen much of this guy. Yeah, I think he's just in stuff I don't get into. I'm sorry. Wow, yeah, I'm not seeing a thing. He was in Reindeer Games. I reviewed that too. I don't even remember it. Even though it's the catchphrase. I'm not seeing anything else. I'm so sorry.
Razor Laser, thank you for the $10 super chat. If you never considered pursuing a career in film, what other job prospects were you interested in?
Oh, illustrator. That's what I was doing before I was doing this, honestly. And I enjoyed it a great deal. And I was just starting to get to a point where I can make a living on it. And then this kind of took off. It was making more money than that. So, obviously I pivoted towards this. But no, I love doing it. I liked working for clients. I like seeing what they wanted. It's funny because if this did all fall apart, the idea of going back to illustration would be tricky because I don't know how to draw on tablets. I know how to do Photoshop, but I mean, actually drawing on a tablet like everybody does now, and it makes sense to do. That'd be a huge learning curve for me.
Shouting Joker, thank you for the 500 bits. This is probably going to be insane, but I think we should have more live-action Batman movies like Batman and Robin, in that there should another lighthearted Batman movie with a different director, great writers, and actors who could pull it off. I also think they should use Christopher Nolan technique of how they do the action. Do you think this could be done?
Oh, sure. I mean, I don't know what they have planned for The Brave and the Bold, but with that title, I feel like they have to be working something like that in. I think it's funny because David Howard Thorne did it was like a proof of concept for either a Joker short or something like that, where he plays the Joker in, and they give him this kind of Dick Tracy style makeup. And again, it's a little test, so it's obviously looks like makeup and everything. But it's one of those things where I was thinking, like, boy, mixing like Batman with the Dick Tracy movie, like that could be kind of cool. That could be something that hasn't really been done in live action yet with Batman. I think could really, really be fun. So something along those lines, I think would be really awesome.
Ryan, thank you for that 4-month membership over on YouTube. Welcome back. Appreciate
Thank
that.
you.
JL, thank you for the 1,000 bits. What are your thoughts on the newer transfers to Back to the Future? Or did you just watch the old transfers when you did your review of the trilogy? I thought the newer scans were well done.
I don't know which one I had. I mean, I had him on Blu-ray. It's the one where it's the box set where it's blue and sort of him looking at the watch is like in the corner and the title takes up most of the screen. So whatever one that one is, I don't think that's the newest transfer, but it's one of the later ones, but not the latest one.
Maze, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you guys watched K-pop Demon Hunters yet? I just watched it, absolutely loved it. Golden is now my favorite song.
Not yet. I got it. It's definitely high on the list of like, I gotta get to this. Now, sadly, I got a ton of stuff coming up these next few weekends. We got like cons and appearances. By the way, go check us out at Galloping Ghost. Both me and James Rolfe are going to be there, and Brad Jones. So yeah, you can see us there we have this Friday and Saturday. And then after that, we got Kineticon. So see us there.
Future movie actor, thank you for the $5 super chat. Still weird thinking how before Pirates of the Caribbean, Touchstone and Hollywood Pictures and Miramax mean there were PG-13 and R-rated Disney movies. Haha.
Yeah, that was the first one under the Disney umbrella that was officially PG-13, which is a little weird. I can't totally act like that, but at the same time, one or two of those older Disney movies like are practically PG-13. There's a few things in like Something Wicked This Way Comes, where you see like a kid his head chopped off and everything, like there's nudity and Fantasia and everything. Like there's a whole bunch of stuff that's like, I don't know what that would be rated today.
Alex Loves Musicals, thank you for the 500 bits. Thoughts on the movie Casablanca?
Yes, it's gonna sound really weird. I gotta see it again because I remember loving everything in that movie except the romance, which is
wild.
Weird. Yeah, that's a wild take. But I saw it when I was in high school and I think maybe college too. And I just remember thinking these actors are fine. I just didn't believe their chemistry. And I'm wondering if now that I'm older, I can look back and I can be like, oh, I see that pain now. I recognize that. But even when it shows the flashback of them being happy, I'm like, it just kind of felt like a performance. And he kept saying, here's looking at you, kid, so many times. I'm like, oh, I wonder what the last line of the movie is going to be, But it is one of those things where it's like, I feel like I got to see it again because I literally have not seen it since college. And I loved everything else. But that's like the most famous thing it's known for. So I really should check it out again and see if it holds up. It holds up obviously holds up for the world. I mean, it's like seeing a classic. But yeah, if I still have the same thoughts.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. I love Pokemon 3. It's about a girl who lost her parents and then gains power over a powerful Pokemon and has him kidnap Ash's mother to have her be her new mother. Tell me that doesn't sound like a horror movie.
It does. That sounds really interesting, actually. Man, and this one's like, fighting is bad. Tears bring him back to life. And this one's like Perfect Blue or something. That sounds nuts.
Future movie actor, thank you for the $5 super chat. Rebirth is probably a technically better made movie than both Fallen Kingdom and Dominion, but both are more watchable though. JP3 still worst for me.
It's funny because I see that as one of the better ones, but I know what you're talking about because it's not epic. It's not trying to be epic. At least the others are trying to be really big. They're trying to be important. They're trying to be about something, and 3 clearly isn't. So I get that, but because it is so nonsensical and it is just a silly B movie, that's one of the ones and it's short. That's one of the ones where I'm like, yeah, this doesn't offend me that much.
Alex Loves Musicals, thank you for the 500 bits. Any chance you can do a Disney December review or on Agatha All Along this year?
I have to finish it. I'll probably finish it around fall because I think it's a good fall show.
Maze, thank you for the $5 super chat. Part 1. Like I brought up last week with my tier list idea for you guys, with a best animated feature one, I think it'd be cool. Yeah, I wrote that down because that would be interesting, and there haven't been
I
that
agree.
many. Yeah. Matt Buddy, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hey Doug, you should, when you get the chance, watch Skeletor and Eva Lynn doing a My Cousin Vinny scene. And if you haven't watched it, My Cousin Vinny, or if you haven't watched My Cousin Vinny, why?
That's another one I saw a long time ago. I am writing that down because that sounds really funny. I remember liking it. I don't know if I got as into it as much as everyone else did at the time, but it's good. It's a funny, but the performances are really funny. And there's a lot of charm to it as well, and there is a good bite to it. So yeah, people just fell in love with it so much at the time that I think maybe the hype kind of dulled it a little bit for me. But I do remember liking it.
Maze, thank you for the $5 super chat. This is part 2. I think it'd be cool if you guys brought up the nominees for the year. If it was a film that you guys don't like, you could say which film you think should have won.
Yeah,
Maybe. That might make it a little bit longer.
yeah, you know what? Like maybe I'll have it open like on my list. Like we won't have it for the crowd or anything, but like if somebody has something else to say, can you believe that was nominated and that one? You know, like maybe we can do something like that. But I agree, having it actually like open to everyone to see that's a lot.
Tom, thank you for the $10 super chat. And Arceus shall smite the critic and plunge him into the distortion world.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Don't.
Arceus is basically like Pokemon God, so.
Gotcha. Don't.
A lover of cinema, thank you for the 500 bits. Hot take, the live-action Grinch is my least favorite Dr. Seuss movie. Yes, Cat in the Hat is worse and is the worst Dr. Seuss movie overall, but as someone who loves the Grinch in general and grew up with a book and animated special, I absolutely hate what they did with the live-action movie.
I get that. The Cat in the Hat has less to like, yes, he's an iconic character, but I mean, the moral of the story is, you know, just you can get in trouble. A little nonsense, a little trouble is good. And that is a good lesson, you know, but nothing like the meaning of Christmas. You know what I mean? So yeah, there's kind of like more to ruin there. So I get where you're coming from with that.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In Endgame, what do you think of Thanos' end? I like how he just sits and accepts his defeat.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say which one, but I see what you're saying. I liked it. I like that it played around with. I like to play it around with what you think is gonna happen. You know, I thought that was cool. It kind of played with expectations. I'm still not totally on board that, and I like they stick to that. But then the Thanos they fight later, it's not actually the same Thanos, and that does feel a little weird. It kind of feels like, oh, now we get the second one, you know, the watered down one, not the watered down one, but you know, like just we get the copy, and that's not as epic. So yeah, no, I liked it. For the most part, you know, with a little asterisk for the stuff after, but yeah, I liked it.
Zach Crom, thank you for the 500 bits. Have you seen K-pop Demon Hunters? And if so, what do you think about, personally, I love it even with its little flaws.
Not yet. Everyone's going on and on about it. You have, even like my friends are like, have you seen K-pop Vampire Hunters yet? All that stuff. So not yet, but I want to. I've definitely heard a lot of people praising the hell out of it.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you seen the movies Bird on a Wire with Mel Gibson or The Chamber with Gene Hackman?
I haven't seen either. I'll try to check them out.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you and or Heather seen the Jimmy Stewart movies Mr. Smith Goes to Washington and or Harvey? Also, Heather, have you seen Rear Window? Yes. Yes, I have. I had to think about it for a second, but yeah, I have. I've seen Rear Window, not Mr. Smith Goes to Washington or Harvey.
Yeah, and Mr. Smith it's an okay movie with a great ending. I mean, that ending is fantastic. Or I should even say like the last third, honestly. Harvey, I love the performance, and I can't get into anything else. I love watching him. He is just so I mean, he's such a phenomenal actor. But the film itself, I'm like, yeah, okay. It's a giant rabbit. Can we move on? Like, it just didn't interest me at all. But yeah, the performance was great.
Jace, thank you for the $10 super chat. This is part 1 of 3. I'm probably going to mess up this first word. Tripiphany. Ending with 6 robots and Blue Fairy is actually very important, and Stanley Kubrick is a genius. 6 black casket-carrying rabbits come for Pinocchio because he refuses to take Blue Fairy medicine.
Okay, I think we talk about the original book Pinocchio, I think, because there is a darker ending, and then I think they added more originally. I'd I'd have to see what he had in mind. It didn't work for me the way Spielberg did it, but maybe it would have worked the way Kubrick did. But maybe it couldn't have. We don't know. Nobody else could see it work. Even the writer was like, "I want to get rid of that stupid Blue Fairy." So yeah, who knows if he would have made it work or not.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Heather, opinion on Les Mis, be it the book, musical, or movie, or in general. I really enjoy Les Mis. I like the book. I like the musical. I never saw the movie because I just cannot bring myself to watch the movie. I probably will at some point, but not this moment. I do love the musical, and I tried to read the book in French because I'm an overachiever, and I studied French in high school. It was difficult. I did not finish it in French.
Reading it in English is difficult.
yeah. Jace, thank you for the $5 super chat. This is part 2 of 3. The 6 robots bring back life instead of take. Pinocchio's house became better when he became a real boy. That's why David's home was the same but off.
Okay. So he is continuing with that. Okay, I'll wait for the part 3.
Jace, thank you for the $10 super chat. This is part 3 of 3.
Right.
David didn't want to be a real boy. He wanted to be genuinely loved. That's why he was happy when Monica said, "I love you," before she passed away. David's wish came true. Monica became his real mommy.
I'm not saying there's nothing there. I hate saying this because I know it just sounds like a Kubrick purist and stuff like that, but you need somebody not Spielberg to do it. You know what I mean? He's just gonna make it too Spielbergy and kind of take out the bite. Like the way you described that was so much better than what we got in the film, how the film presented it, I guess I should say, for me. And maybe because I am so used to that Spielberg style that, can be very dreamlike and magical and stuff, but it can also be very schmaltzy. So that's kind of what came across for me. But no, I've heard what Kubrick had in mind, and stuff like that. And there was some thought that maybe deep down Kubrick did maybe kind of want to do a Spielberg movie. He wanted to do his version of E.T. So there is some theories about that, but I mean, we can't know for sure. And if you like it, please enjoy it. If anything, I like hearing different points of view like that because it makes me look at it differently.
We're gonna have to pick up the pace here.
Gotcha.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In Arkham Knight, what do you think of the scene where Scarecrow makes Gordon unmask Batman?
I liked it. I was really like, oh, is this really going on?
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Heather, thoughts on Phantom of the Opera? Again, book, movie, specifically musical, silent, or Claude Rains version, musical, or in general. It's one of my favorite Andrew Lloyd Webber musicals. I love the musical. I haven't read the book. JL, thank you for the 1,000 bits. In Pirates of the Caribbean 3, what do you think of the court scene?
Trying to remember a court scene. Yeah, let's just go with the next one because I'll look it up while we're looking at that.
Koros, thank you for the $20 super chat. Hey, Doug, good to have a chance to ask you anything, and great timing since you're playing my favorite game series ever, Final Fantasy VII. That said, does your playthrough of Final Fantasy VII interest you in an Advent Children review someday? Thanks.
I'll go back and watch it again and then maybe give my thoughts because, I remember not following it at all. And I don't see the court scene, unless you're talking about where all the pirates meet up. Which I thought was a little boring. I like those actors, but I thought the rest of it was kind of boring, honestly.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. What is your favorite moment between Homelander and Butcher?
Maybe just the end of the first season. I think it was first season. Yeah, where they're in the house with the lady. I don't want to say too much after that, but that was pretty intense.
The Guy, thank you for the $7 super chat. Hey, Doug, have you seen the Oni Plays bit where they use AI to write a Nostalgia Critic review? If not, the results will make you laugh hard.
I finally know why people are asking me what I thought of The Boy in the Striped Pajamas. I knew it had something to do with Oni, but I just didn't have time to check it out, and finally I saw it somewhere, and it's pretty hilarious.
Sean, thank you for the $10 super chat. Are you telling us there's going to be a Ghibli tier list on July 29th? I hope Walter, Malcolm, Brad, and Tamara will be on that one. I really want to hear their thoughts. If not, still looking forward to it. Definitely not Tamara. Hopefully Walter and Malcolm. Probably not Brad, but Rob will hopefully be there.
Yeah, I can't see Rob not being there.
For sure. AOTV, thank you for the $5 super chat. Heather, the driver of the Batman truck was John Seasock. Yes, I made a grave error on that. Sorry, chat. I added a C where there should not have been. Jace, thank you for the $5 super chat. How insane is it? We're getting at least 4 Stephen King films this year. Enough material for 2 years if you divide them. The films have been good so far.
Yeah, actually, I know, because I said, I'll just do King when I want to, so I took a year off. Now I do want to get back into it, because I really want to talk about The Monkey, and I'm sure I want to talk about Running Man.
Thomas, thank you for the $10 super chat. Original Godzilla 54 versus -1. I love them both for different reasons.
Yeah, boy, I personally like -1 a little bit more, but I mean, either answer is understandable.
Too bad Waluigi time, thank you for the £5 super chat. Is Frozen still one of your top 10, maybe even top 5 favorite Disney movies?
Yeah, I think so. I still really like that movie.
JL, thank you for the 1,000 bits. I won't lie, I left Lilo and Stitch feeling empty, especially I felt the changes done were not needed.
I mostly agree.
Jace, thank you for the $10 super chat. DOA Pixar film loses to another Jurassic Park sequel. No wonder they can make Jurassic Park about whatever. The alternative film defies the point of film escapism. We want entertainment, not lectures.
Wait, which one's the lecture? Which one's the entertainment?
I'm not sure.
But I agree.
Victor, thank you for the 100 MX through Super Chat. Doug, around this month, I ever start to watch you again, IDKY, but it happens, and I have a request. Can you do another top 12 Christmas commercials for this season? It's one of my favorite episodes.
Oh, well, if I can find 12 more, that makes sense.
Chase, thank you for the $5 super chat. Sean Penn, after watching this review, joke's on you, critic. I was the main cast of Angry Birds film, and the support group and I didn't say redacted.
If I remember that joke, I'd agree and laugh.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. I don't know if you heard about the Masked Rider actor passing away. It's really odd news of it would just come out, you know.
The comic or the movie? I'll look it up.
The Masked Nerd, thank you for the $2 super chat. Nathan, thank you for the $5 super chat. Thoughts on the Ballad of Buster Scruggs?
I liked it, though it is very obvious when, when the Coen brothers take over, and and it's not the original book or stories, I should say.
Retro Schmel, thank you for the $5 super chat.
Oh, Mask of Fan. No, that was 5 years ago. Nope, sorry, I don't know what they're talking about. Sorry.
Retro Schmel, thank you for the $5 super chat. Can you give a birthday shout out to my nephew Donovan, who is 13 today? He'd like to know what modern video games you like best.
Happy birthday, Donovan! And modern game. I did like the Kingdom Hearts game. I do like the Final Fantasy ones, too. And the Arkham games. Yeah, really, really like those.
Treg, thank you for the 500 bits. Have you seen the Tex Avery cartoon, Who Killed Who? Even though I love this guy's work, I never even heard of this one, but as someone who loves whodunits and cartoons, it's become one of my new favorites.
Boy, it sounds familiar. Let me look it up while we're looking at the next one.
Future Movie Reactor, thank you for the $5 super chat. Heather, you watched Beetleborgs? Since it wasn't in the Fox Kids NC, seems like none of you did ultimately, unless there just wasn't time for it in there. No, I did not watch Beetleborgs. I did not.
And I did see this one. It is really funny.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Speaking of old NC material, where has Chester A. Bum been lately? Is he still alive?
Oh, I'm around, just me and Doe are enjoying a little bit of time off. Bums need a break too.
Nathan, thank you for the $10 super chat. Showcasing my stupidity. For the longest time, I thought Humperdinck was a made-up last name for Princess Bride until I came across the song Lonely is a Man Without Love.
I thought it was too. You're not alone.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Which mother played by Maya Rudolph do you like more? The one from Mitchell's versus the Machines or the one from Luca?
Probably Mitchell's. I like her in Luca.
Haunted Joker, thank you for the 500 bits. Would you rather be a member of the Justice Gang, the Revengers, or the Fantastic Quattro?
um, the Justice Gang has room to grow, so maybe there.
JL, thank you for the 1,000 bits. I really wish older animes that got discontinued by the studios would get reissues and not just become lost media.
I agree.
Nathan, thank you for the $5 super chat. With Jurassic Park constantly talking about weaponizing dinos, give me the movies after the bad guys win. Give me World War Dinosaur.
That's a cool one. Yeah.
That rolls off the tongue.
Have that be the next movie. World War Jurassic Park or whatever. 8. World War Dinosaur. That sounds awesome.
It really does. AOTV, thank you for the $5 super chat. Jim Carrey is the oldest one to win a Kids' Choice Award at 63.
That's kind of cool.
Mustard Man, thank you for the 500 bits. I know everyone worries about the next DreamWorks live-action remakes, but what would they do outside of Shrek? Popular franchises like Madagascar, Trolls, and Kung Fu Panda definitely wouldn't work outside of animation.
Yeah, that's a good point. What would they do? I never thought about that.
Nathan, thank you for the $5 super chat. With the passing of Michael Madsen, are we maybe going to get the first NC of a Tarantino film?
I save them for Disney Decembers because I feel like I can go in more. I'm more comfortable talking about them there. Also, I don't know how much YouTube will allow me to show.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Not sure if you knew this, but Michael Madsen's first role was in War Games in the first scene. Turn your key, sir.
Oh, no kidding. All right. I gotta go back and watch that again.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. I did want to say thank you to Doug for Disney December 2020. Definitely needed it back then with what was happening.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I needed it too with what was happening.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. And Superman, who do you think is the better Perry White? George Dzundza in the cartoon or Jackie Cooper in the films?
I like Jackie Cooper a little more.
Stupid People, thank you for the $20 super chat. Hi, Doug.
Thank you.
So my favorite so bad it's good movie is Taxi from 2004. Would you ever consider reviewing it just mainly so I can hear you explain how dumb I am for 20 minutes? Plus, it'll give you an excuse to make fun of Jimmy Fallon.
I never did see it. It looked bad. So maybe I'll check it out at some point.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Did you hear about the Netflix issue where Universal gave the studio an edited version of it? Fans were so upset that it reached director Bob Gale, so he asked them to destroy all the prints.
Of what? Back to the Future? Is that what they're talking about?
Great question. I don't know. They just said it. So
I'm assuming they mean Bob Gale has connection Back to the Future. So no, I have not heard that.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Jurassic Park 3 is not the best, but it's definitely okay for a B movie. Lost World starts out well, but then it just gets boring a bit.
Yeah, see, for me, I thought it started out pretty boring at the beginning, but yeah, for the most part, I agree.
Nate, thank you for the $10 super chat. Doug, do you plan to continue Dark Toons? If so, you have to include the Ben 10 episode, Ghost Freaked Out, which has one of Ben's aliens rebel and try to kill him and actually nearly does.
I don't have the, especially still having the brain fog, and so I don't have the energy, sorry.
Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. What is your favorite Burt Ward Robin holy blank quote? For me in Batman vs. Two-Face, I love when Catwoman bids on Batman at a bachelor auction and Robin shouts, "Holy Hugh Hefner!" That's hilarious.
One I love to use is just holy self-service.
Future movie actor, thank you for the $5 super chat. You aware of the character tropes complete monster, outright pure evil villain, and magnificent bastard, ingenious, morally dubious schemer?
I mean, I have an idea what they are. Have I heard those official terms? No, but I guess what they are.
AOTV, thank you for the $10 super chat. Did you try reaching out to Screen Junkies prior to your Deadpool 2 review? Get in touch with Ryan Reynolds. I think it would have been funny since he has a restraining order against the critic.
Yeah, I think we wrote that. No. No, I did not. I don't think that would go anywhere. That's just my guess.
Morales, thank you for the $5 super chat. Speaking of bringing things back, I hope we see Was That Real return someday. I love when you talk about forgotten shows like Moo Mesa and Ewoks.
I like doing that too. That was more for me because I like talking about those shows. But yeah, just the way my brain is now, I don't think I could really do it. It'd just be too much work.
Nate, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hey, Doug, since you've given Land Before Time an NC, does that mean Oliver and Company will get a proper NC since you call Land Before Time more like a Disney film than Oliver and Company?
I don't have that much passion for that movie. So probably no. There's some good things about it, but yeah, I don't really have that much passion.
Treg, thank you for the 500 bits. Is there a biopic that takes a more black and white approach to the real life events that it got on your nerves? For me, I liked the film Priscilla fine, but I did not like that it made Elvis more of a villain than he was in real life and did not bring up Priscilla's own shortcomings or strained relationship with her daughter.
It's funny because I've heard the flip of the movie Elvis that it was too glorifying. I haven't seen Priscilla. I should, but the angle they both present, I think, makes sense because again, Elvis, I think, was more about like the camp, the mythos, the lore, and it's told from the point of view of kind of the bad guy who would want to make him look amazing. So I think that makes sense. In terms of, I'm sure there is a film like what you're talking about, but I'm blanking on it. Sorry.
Sorry, I was checking something out really fast. JL, thank you for the 500 bits. I'm gonna try my best to make sense of this message, but I'm not sure if I can. Hey, Doug, are you still shocked with the dog? P.S. Commercial, also pole position.
I know this ain't pole position. I get that. Maybe the dog about to get shot in the commercial. Maybe that, like, still shocked about that. And yes, I still am.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. I was talking about Saban's Masked Rider.
Gotcha. Good to know.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Sorry for the mess up. I meant Back to the Future Part 2.
Aha! Okay. Now I know.
Decade, thank you for the 500 bits. Having recently rewatched your Double Dare review, I would love to see you look at some of Nick's other game shows. Also, fun fact, the first taped episode had to restart the obstacle course 4 times. First 2 times were due to a missing flag, third due to a wayward cameraman, fourth attempt they got 6 obstacles. Oddly enough, the obstacle that caused trouble was called Nightmare.
You saw the Nickelodeon documentary too. It's so good, isn't it? The Orange Years, it's so good. I don't think I have the effort. Again, just especially with the way my brain is, I don't think I'd be able to do it. Sorry.
Okay, 2 minutes to spare.
Woo, all right.
Holy cow.
That was a lot.
I panicked there a little bit, but we got it. Holy cow. Whew. All right, let's see. Movie Lover over on Twitch says, if you ultimately had to rate the following comedians, what would the order be? Andy Dick, Pauly Shore, Tom Green.
Like as comedians, maybe Tom Green because at least he's experimental. Then Andy Dick, then Pauly Shore. But just as comedians, other stuff that's a little more debatable.
Batfan over on YouTube wants to know your least favorite Tarantino movie. Reading all those so fast was like.
I haven't seen them all. The ones I have seen, and I still like this movie, probably A Hateful Eight. It's just that last, 40 minutes where they go back and tell the story from a different point of view, and I just did not see the point of it.
Matt Gamer over on Twitch says, hi, Doug. I love the idea of re-reviewing your old nostalgia reviews. You know, I wouldn't mind if one day you re-reviewed the live-action Mario Bros. Movie.
That's one of the ones I want to talk about, definitely. So yeah, you'll probably see that.
The Movie Grump over on YouTube says, what are your thoughts on Jaws, and will you ever make an NC review of it?
What am I going to bring to that? Everyone's analyzed that movie to death. I can't bring anything that new. I really like it. I mean, it's a great movie, but yeah, I can't really add. My thoughts are everybody's thoughts.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. After watching Superman, any curiosity for watching Smallville with Tom Welling? The fall of Lex Luthor is done really well.
I've heard it's great. It's just a time thing, but yeah, I've heard it's a really, really good show.
Star-Lord over on Twitch says, opinion on the A-Team show.
I remember liking it for what it was.
And Connor over on YouTube, this may have to be one of our last ones here, says, have you seen Final Destination Bloodlines or any of the Final Destination movies? And if so, what are your thoughts?
I saw the first 2. I remember liking the first one, but I wasn't like obsessed with it. Second one, I only remember the ladder and the truck. I don't remember anything else about it. I just don't remember getting into it. And I haven't seen any of them afterwards, but I hear the new one's really good, but I haven't seen any of the others, so I don't know how much I'd get into it.
Okay. Fantastic. All right, everyone. That's going to wrap it up and end it for us here. Thank you all so much, as usual, for being here with us. We super appreciate it. Please remember that this Friday, Doug will not be streaming. Instead, you should go to Galloping Ghost to see him in real life, IRL, in person.
Real human life.
Right, with the AVGN. So,
But but next Tuesday we're doing Final Fantasy, correct?
Correct. So next Tuesday, the 15th, we will be having a makeup stream for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. So join us not on Friday, but next Tuesday, where we will be streaming Final Fantasy. Or you can hang out on Twitch with Malcolm tomorrow, or on Twitch on Monday with me, okay? But yeah, no Doug stream on Friday is my point. Yeah, have a great night, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. And we will catch y'all later.
Bye-bye! Bye!